Hello everyone, my name is Anton. You are on the Rykov channel. Today I will tell you what cars I own. In my extensive family, there are multiple cars. And for construction or any other life tasks, you select different tools that are specifically designed to cover a particular task at hand. Also cars. You can't choose one car that will solve all your problems. Therefore, today I will tell you what cars I have and what tasks they cover. So, the initial automobile in our current review will be Volkswagen Atlas. This is our family car, and this is the car we intended to purchase first in America, because my primary objectives were to fulfill the requirements of my family and meet their needs. I needed a car that was big, in which I could transport children, carry a lot of groceries, put some purchases and so on. So let's move on to the car itself. The main task of this car was to transport me, my wife, my child who was alone at that time, and we already knew that there would be another child soon. My mom and my younger brother arrived to pay me a visit, and we have to do a lot of traveling in this vehicle, so the car must be of an adequate size. I was deciding between cars like Ford Explorer, maybe Chevrolet Tahoe, maybe something from Jeep Grand Cherokee or something similar. Also, I was thinking about BMW, but the budget was limited, because when you just arrive in America, you can't immediately go and buy a new car from the dealership. Therefore, you need to choose what you can buy from the former. So I did, and here my choice fell on this car, on this Volkswagen Atlas. In my budget, it was possible to buy a fairly fresh car. It was literally 2 years old and had a small mileage in miles. So let's talk about what is in this car, what I like about this car. It is quite big. There is a lot of space in the cabin. 2 child seats fit there. I have one for my older daughter. Another child seat is placed here. And at the same time, there is enough space in this car in the back row. Even for me, considering 2 child seats, it is quite comfortable to sit here. You can also fold down the 3rd row of seats. And then in this car, my entire large family fits comfortably. This car possesses all of the modern features. There is Apple CarPlay, climate control works well, there is adaptive cruise control, and at the same time this car is modern and spacious enough. Also, what is important to me is that it is a German car, and I like how German cars are made. Everything is convenient, everything is in its place, it is really very ergonomic and very comfortable to use. This car is equipped with a good, modern and reliable 3.6 V6 engine. It is quite powerful, although I would not say that it is a sports car. Of course, this car has all-wheel drive, so you can go to Big Bear, go to the snow, and not be afraid of anything. So let us move back and I will tell you another important function of this car. So, another very important function of this car. He has a large trunk, and even if you fold down the 3rd row of seats, there will still be plenty of space here. But usually my wife drives like that. And look, she fits everything she needs. She has rollers to ride with her younger daughter, a doll stroller for my older daughter, a scooter for the older daughter, toys for the sand. She has everything here to be able to go somewhere with my children, with my daughters, whom I love very much. And even kids' bikes fit easily in this car. And simultaneously, there is sufficient space in the vehicle for the wife to make a stop at Costco on the way back, purchase a large amount of groceries, place them in the car, and return home. And it is very convenient. At the same time, one of the important factors for my wife was that her car still looked attractive enough. I believe that in this generation, Volkswagen has made this car quite beautiful. She looks moderately aggressive, moderately stylish. Of course, I can't say that this car simply impresses with its design, but at the same time, it looks quite beautiful. Because when I proposed to my wife to purchase a Chrysler or Honda minivan, she declined, stating that I am not yet old enough to drive such vehicles. So, that's all I wanted to tell you about this car. But because today I picked it up from my wife, today I'm going grocery shopping, and I went to the store to buy groceries, load them into this big trunk, and drive home. And now I'm going to tell you about another one of my cars. This particular car is a Tesla, which is an electric vehicle known for its innovative technology and sleek design. The Tesla Model 3 features dual motors for enhanced performance and efficiency. I'm going to tell you the reasons why I bought this particular car. There is one main reason for this. Gasoline is very expensive in California. Before buying a car service, I used a different car, and everything in it suited me. But since my auto repair shop is located 45 miles away from where I live, I calculated that it would cost me $1,350 per month to drive the car I used before. And I immediately realized that I am purchasing a Tesla. Simply observe the wheels on this automobile. They are awful. However, in reality, this car possesses numerous benefits. This is genuinely an extremely convenient device. Just take a quick look. Come on, let's go. Hurry up, let's go. We don't have much time. And how to return it? Honestly, I'm using this function for the first time, but the app is really convenient. You can see where the car is located, and the more important function is that you can turn on the AC, open the windows, ventilate the car from your phone, and it works fine. It's crucial in California because it's always hot here. Initially, I purchased the car because everyone around me said that it's like an iPhone in the world of cars, that it's a very convenient gadget. In fact, that's exactly how it is. The autopilot works very correctly. In California, this is a convenient car with superchargers. But the main thing is that if you have the opportunity to charge the car at home at night, or like me, I usually charge it at work during the working day, I always have enough charge, although sometimes when I have to drive every day, constantly go to the supercharger and stand there for 10, 15 minutes, and sometimes even wait in line before you can charge, it's not very convenient. But as I used this car, I really understood that it is a very convenient, comfortable car for everyday use. Many things in this car are well planned, like in an iPhone. Everything is convenient, comfortable, sat, clicked lever, and went. But the most important thing that I like about this car is, of course, autopilot. This is what I bought it for. Autopilot really significantly reduces the driver's workload, and you drive comfortably. Just turn on autopilot and drive. Yes, I have superchargers connected, and I have purchased the full autopilot package. He is definitely connected, but unfortunately, I didn't know about one problem. What if, according to Tesla, you violate the rules of using this autopilot, they turn it off for you? And while for the most part he was turned off for me, I know that Rolls-Royce has a cool feature where the trunk opens, special chairs unfold, and you can sit in nature, chat, and enjoy the beautiful view. Tesla went much further, and they added an umbrella. And I purchased this car at a relatively low price because it is a salvage car. Many fear buying such cars, but I'll tell you, there's nothing to fear. The car is restored, all security systems work, but I bought it 30% cheaper than market price. Therefore, if you want to do the same, our body shop can do it. We can find a car for you, restore it to your liking, and sell it to you. We can also help with a loan. In fact, this is really a pretty good car. Many people told me that Tesla is too noisy, with very poor interior quality. Actually, the car is very quiet. You can enjoy listening to lovely music. Therefore, as I previously stated, this car was purchased solely for daily commuting. He exhibits a very cool demeanor on the highway. Just turn on autopilot, or at the very least, enable lane keeping, and the car will drive itself, enabling you to truly relax and unwind while enjoying a stress-free ride. But unfortunately, I can't show you how autopilot works right now because it has just turned off again, and it will be turned on in about a week. But how Tesla operates, you already know. It has been demonstrated numerous times. Here I simply want to explain why I purchased it. And I purchased it solely for the comfort of daily usage. And in reality, this automobile is truly extremely convenient for everyday usage. And I would like to mention one very interesting point. Despite the fact that it is just an everyday car, it is actually quite fast. Oops. In general, we drove on winding roads, and it can actually provide pleasure from operating a vehicle, which can be a truly enjoyable experience. Actually, this is one of the primary reasons why I purchased this vehicle. For the race, I required to bring a minimum of 10 wheels, multiple canisters, and a variety of tools for immediate car repairs on the track. Therefore, I needed a pickup truck. This is Ford F-150. Specifically, this car is in the platinum trim with a 6.2-liter engine, retractable running boards, and additional options. This is a 2014 automobile, and I acquired it with a mileage of roughly 87,000 miles at the time of purchase. This is my first car in America, and the agreement with my wife was that we would buy her a car first, and then me. However, it turned out that the dealer assisting me in selecting the Volkswagen Atlas inquired about my car purchasing plans. I agree, I plan to buy a pickup truck. That's how we stopped with him. He told me, listen, neighbor selling cool Ford. And here, everything just fell perfectly into place, because initially among, so to speak, this American trio of Chevrolet, Dodge, and Ford, my preference was specifically for Ford. I believe so. Well, I would just ask, what type of Ford is there? And he sends it to me. The Platinum configuration is what I wanted. And rear-wheel drive. I do not need all-wheel drive either. He provides me with the price, and I simply agree immediately that I need to purchase this car. In fact, while still living in Russia, I was already planning and looking at such a full-size pickup truck because I had a Volkswagen Amarok. This is a European pickup, but it is much smaller. There is a 3-liter diesel, a small cabin, a small trunk. You can load a maximum of 900 kilograms into it, even 800 if I'm not mistaken. And here it is already a full-fledged, full-size pickup. Of course, I would like a pickup a little newer. His mileage is slightly higher than I prefer. However, despite everything, he is in very good condition. There was only one previous owner. And since immigrants in America do not have access to normal loans at the initial stage, I decided to buy this car. He was in my pocket. And actually, when I bought this car, it solved a lot of tasks. Because in fact, the pickup is a fairly comfortable family car. It really has a spacious salon, and you can comfortably ride with your wife and 2 children in it. They fit comfortably in the back, and my wife can sit with them in the back. Since we had just arrived and needed to buy a lot of different furniture and bring everything to our apartment, we didn't need the services of a mover. We calmly loaded everything into the pickup truck, and if something was available, we would choose it and load it into the pickup truck to take home immediately. Convenient? Of course it's convenient. Pros and cons of a car. The main plus, this is a good configuration. Seat ventilation, cruise control, retractable footrest. Important because daughter can climb into pickup truck herself, doesn't need to be helped. This is the longest version of the F-150, and it has a large body that easily fits. Maximum I carried 22 wheels here. Just imagine, 22 wheels is really a lot. In regular operation, it's great that I can throw 10, 12 wheels here, throw everything I need on the track, and drive calmly without any issues. This is a big and confident car. She is really very comfortable on the road. She is soft, comfortable. You sit high, you can see everything perfectly. Good overview around, and it is comfortable in everyday use. Next point is both a plus and a minus. This is a motor. Engine here is as powerful as Raptors. This motor was sold with a Platinum. It is a 6.2 naturally aspirated engine with 400 horsepower, and yes, this is both a plus and a minus. Let me explain why. On one hand, it is a big plus because I drive with a trailer, carry tires, and the pickup feels comfortable. It has enough power to tow a trailer with a car. Even if it is heavily loaded with tires, you don't feel it much. But on the other hand, the downside is that this pickup has an unreal fuel consumption. On average, I currently get 10.5 mpg. This is a lot, especially in California where gasoline is expensive. Please, if you can explain it, write about it in the comments section. Another downside of this car is that it is quite old. Does not support Apple CarPlay, although it has a pretty cool multimedia system, but it's really old. That's why you must turn on the navigator like this on your phone, and it's not always very comfortable. Also, in fact, because this is a fairly old car, there is a lack of various cool modern features like adaptive cruise control, 360 cameras, and so on. Well, that's about it. And here is what this pickup was bought for. Mainly for this purpose it was bought. He provides a solution for the problem of carrying a trailer in which he transports his other cars with him. We will make a separate video about the trailer because right now it's a bit messy after the last event. And also in this big video, we will show what happened to the trailer during the racing season because I bought it in practically new condition and it got quite damaged. And also a significant tuning of trailers. And another one of my vehicles, and it is not a Mercedes automobile. This is Nissan Silvia. As I already mentioned in our first video, for those who haven't watched it, here's a link, go and watch it. This is the Nissan Silvia. It was my most emotional purchase, I will explain why. I had a cool Corvette that I really enjoyed and had a strong attachment to. It was the very first drift car I purchased in America. As it seemed to me at that moment, and I believe I was right, that Corvette was not ready for a serious championship, for participation in serious competitions. I stumbled upon this Silvia, observed that the offer is quite interesting, and most importantly, noticed that she is equipped with a carbon intake system. I thought it was a very good car, plus everyone around me always told me about how Nissan Silvia drives beautifully, it's the queen of drift, it's the best car for drift, which is simply created by the gods. Sooner or later this must be checked. I'm showing about carbon intake. In fact, we have not only a carbon intake here, but it is the thing that sticks out from under the hood. And it appears to be very muscular. What did I appreciate about this vehicle? This vehicle is actually really well prepared for pro spec level racing, at the very least. Here is a very good engine. This is a precisely built engine, so they took a cast iron block, sports heads, and a sports camshaft. On top, they also attached a carbon intake, and I won't stop talking about him. And overall, the machine is really very well prepared. However, I absolutely did not like it. I do not know what it is connected to. Someone says that it is wrong to put LS in Silvia, but even in our championship, many guys ride on LS and Silvias. And in Pro 1, and in Pro Spec, guys also ride Silvias with LS engines. I believe this is a characteristic of automobile management. And because I originally received training on a different platform, specifically the BMW platform, I genuinely did not appreciate Silvia. I do not know why. She handles well, she accelerates well in turns, but overall the control is good to me. I just don't understand where the car is going and what its dimensions are. You won't believe it, but I bought this car literally a week before the race. During negotiations, whether to participate or not, I was certain I would try it on a Corvette, despite knowing the Corvette couldn't handle the race. Tough decision, but I remained confident in my choice. Here comes the car. Find it on Facebook Marketplace, communicate with the owner, realize there's no choice, have to buy and participate in the race with a more competitive car. And at that moment, it seemed that this idea was simply magnificent. But in fact, I literally drove only 2 races in this car. This is the first stage at Irwindale and the second stage at Orange Show Speedway, and could not show any good results. On what did I base when choosing this car? In fact, everything is very simple. Certain things have been done here that I was missing in the Corvette. And in general, this vehicle is prepared in the exact same way that I would prepare a sports drift car. Engine in front. An additional large oil cooling has been installed. Radiator relocated to trunk for sufficient cooling. The correct fuel system is installed. Set of vice grip pliers in front, large set of max pliers in the back, which adjusts all levers. Well, now we are waiting for a buyer for this car, who will come to see it and most likely buy it. Why did I decide to sell it? Everything is very simple. This is a very cool car, it's very cool, it's really sporty, but it's just not for me. It is like sneakers that do not fit you. They are truly beautiful, comfortable. They may be extremely good for running, but not for you. They're not the right size for you. Same for this car. I really feel in it as if not in my own shoes, as if it's someone else's. But no such thing in BMW. In BMW, everything is completely different. This car seems to have been made for me. And now we will show it to you. Well, we went to a special range, showed the car. The person who seemed to like it will think about it. Well, everything turned out just as I wanted. I successfully sold this car, so in this particular issue, you will have the opportunity to see another car that I will most likely purchase tomorrow. Always, when selling a car, do not be stingy. Make sure to put on normal tires. We opted for a fairly good tire choice. Fill up the full tank, wash the car. We'll do something nice for a person. The story of this car has come to an end for me. There is nothing more to say about it. I've reached the final chapter of this tale, and it is time to move on. Farewell to this vehicle and the memories it holds. The end. And this is my main drift car. Of course, we would like to shoot it somehow beautifully in some beautiful place, maybe on a track or make an outing. But since this video is being filmed during the period when the season has already ended and the next one has not yet begun, this car is currently in the preparation stage for the next season. We partially disassembled it, defecting the parts that need to be replaced. We also eliminate all the problems that have been bothering us all season. A brief about the car. This is BMW E46. This car has an original engine from BMW M3. This is exactly the engine that was here, but it is greatly improved. The main modification is the installation of a large turbine, which makes this engine significantly more powerful than it was from the factory. Of course, this is not the only improvement of this engine. Here, both pistons and connecting rods and many other things have been replaced. In 2013, Michael Iso achieved the Pro 1 championship driving this car that played a pivotal role in his victory. Main series of Formula Drift. Later, Dimitri Bruzzi bought this car to use it in the Prospect Junior Series and became a Prospect champion twice. And now this car is already quite old, but it is sufficient to secure victory in the hot pit of the upcoming season, which is something I truly desire to achieve. After I made an error with Silvia and purchased a car that had tremendous potential, but the vehicle was in a raw and unprepared state, I made the decision to proceed with my established method. Once an extremely talented racer whom I consulted with shared with me a highly precise and insightful thought. He said the following: to grow as a pilot, the best thing is to buy cars of pilots who have already won something, which is fully ready, which has been tested in real combat. This car can teach you a lot. That's exactly what happened to this car. After I drove Silvia and just suffered from controlling her, suffered from the fact that there were small different problems that needed to be solved, I started driving this car and immediately my driving became much better. First of all, BMW is much more familiar to me. It was on BMW that I learned drifting, and the BMW which I have was also a champion which won several races. Secondly, this car came with the experience of previous owners. The guys could really help me, especially Brewski. We had extensive conversations with him, and as I began driving this car and practicing, I was able to seek his advice on specific aspects of the car's technical components. Something somewhere was breaking for me, he could quickly give me hints, and also by courage itself. I watched his previous trips, watched how I was driving and could communicate with him. But I'm standing here not just for nothing. Now behind my back, deep in this garage, there is already another car hidden. My wife says that the number of her handbags should be greater than the number of my cars, but at the moment it is not so. Well, let's go see the new car. Let's go, I'll show you. This is a BMW M2 competition with a manual transmission. Nevertheless, that is not the primary focus or the most important aspect. I purchased this vehicle the day after selling my Silvia. I've been tracking this project for an extended period of time. This is my friend's project. Yes, it was originally a project car. He specifically selected the M2 competition with a manual transmission in order to transform it into a drift car. However, regrettably, my friend was unable to complete this project, and I joyfully purchased it in order to enhance it to the level of perfection that he desired. And in fact, this aligns with my intentions for this car. Let me explain what has already been accomplished here. What has been done here already? In fact, not much has been done, but there are important improvements here. Here is a full-fledged handbrake, specifically a hydraulic handbrake. He is well made in the right place, but he is not working yet. From behind, you can see in the disc, there are already double calipers so that both the regular brake and the handbrake work well. And most importantly, we will have to start the car for this. This car is equipped with a bias fab. Simply observe the unexpected turn of events. It will greatly enhance the experience of drifting. When purchasing a car, the primary factor I consider is the type of engine installed in the vehicle. And this car has a very good engine. This is S55. This is a very cool engine. Even in stock, it provides a decent amount of power, but I believe we will enhance its power slightly because it is exceptionally well crafted for that purpose. Please support my channel, because every like and every comment from you greatly motivates me to create as much content for you as possible. It's very important for me. Goodbye.